Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I wanted to take a look at the patch notes for Season 28 that is just around the corner. We have the PTR coming out this Tuesday, and I just kind of wanted to dive into some of the things that I like about it, some of the things that I don't, and just kind of have a discussion about this before we hit the PTR. So I'm going to start by diving into some of the things that I think are good about this season. The first one being that builds don't appear to be completely reliant on the season theme. For example, we have the Fist of the Heavens Crusader in Season 27. It's completely reliant on the Angelic Crucible power. Without that, it is going to be absolute trash in Season 28, at least relatively. And so this season, we don't have builds completely tied to the Angelic Crucible power. It seems like most of the powers that they're giving to us are kind of universal, and they're going to work for all builds. So you're not necessarily going to be forced into a build that meshes well with kind of like the Angelic Crucible powers like we had. The next cool thing that they're doing is this Altar of Rites, and I like this because it kind of seems to prepare players for Diablo 4. It kind of seems to be a little parallel to the Altar of Lilith that we're going to be finding in Diablo 4. As far as I understand it, it is going to be a bit different than the Altars of Lilith because I believe that you have to go and find those in the world, and then when you locate them, you click them and you gain this permanent buff, as opposed to this Altar of Rites where you're going to go to it, it's always going to be in the same spot, and you're just going to purchase these permanent buffs. It is really nice that we're going to be able to interact with this Altar of Rites at level 1, because the very first thing that we're going to be able to purchase is only going to cost us 10 reusable parts, which we will be able to get very quickly. And the power that we're going to gain for our character is that the kill streak timer duration and reward bonus are doubled. Because we can interact with this at level 1, this is absolutely massive. Massacre bonus leveling is going to be easier than ever. It's already considered the fastest way to level a new character at the very start of a season. I'll make sure to go ahead and put out a guide on how to do the Massacre bonus leveling, and with this, it is going to make this a very easy way to level up your character, much easier than it was before. You kind of had to really know how to drag enemies to make it work well before, but if you've got double the duration and that kill streak is not dropping off, it's going to make this so much easier and really accessible to players who may be new or haven't tried this before. The next really nice thing about this season is we're going to be getting so many quality of life features that we have wanted in this game for a really long time. Once we unlock the M tier, we're going to get double Death's Breaths. On the O tier, we're going to get double bounty caches for the rest of the season. Progress orbs from rifts are going to be picked up automatically. Not only do we get double Death's Breaths, but we are also having our pet pick them up. And the one that everybody is absolutely excited for is that our pets are now going to pick up our white, blue, and yellow items and automatically salvage them for us. Remember that this will not go into effect until you have unlocked the X tier. By the time that you do that, you are no longer going to be interested in holding on to any other items except legendaries, so this shouldn't be a problem for you while you're leveling up. In addition to all of these, there are just so many cool features that we're going to be able to unlock this season and add so much power to our character and just general ease of playing. For example, we're going to get immunity to crowd controlling effects. This is huge for classes that don't have a skill like Vengeance or Wrath of the Berserker. Gaining passability is absolutely huge too, just being able to walk through enemies without getting blocked. I think that these wings also look phenomenal, and so you have to go and unlock all of the seals in the Altar of Rites, but once you've done that, you get these wings, and I just think that they look excellent. We probably won't get to use them for very long because we're all moving on to Diablo 4 after this, but enjoy them while you can. The buff to Typhon's Veil is really nice for the wizard. The Hydra build is a lot of fun to play, and it's just been kind of underwhelming. I don't think that this buff is going to make this a top tier build, but at the very least it'll be better and fun to try out. Same thing for the Necromancer right here. The buff to the Bone Spear with the Masquerade of the Burning Carnival set was absolutely a great choice. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that it used to be a 10,000% increased damage bonus, and it was absolutely insane. It was over nerfed down to 6,000, And of course, with Simulacrums gaining triple the bonus, this is going to be such a massive buff. Moving up to the Raiment set, I think that this is just a great change. Dashing Strike now just spends 25 Spirit instead of 75. With the Patterns of Justice, I really hope that there's a typo here, because if there is not, this is going to be the biggest nerf in gaming history. They effectively say the same thing, except we go from a 15,000% damage bonus to a 20,000 flat damage bonus. I'm like 99% sure that this has to be a typo and that this is supposed to say 20,000%, but if it's not, this set is completely ruined. It's gotta be a typo. Moving up a bit, we've got the Unhallowed Essence set. I think that this is just a phenomenal change, a massive buff to this set, and I really do think that this might be a top tier contender for the season. Unhallowed Essence multi-shot really looks like it's going to be able to thrive in Season 28 and potentially push GR 150s. I'm absolutely going to be testing out this one in the PTR and making videos in the weeks to come. I'm going to go up a bit here. We're going to get to the Demon Hunter in just a moment when it comes to all these changes, but the Barbarian, the Horde of 90 Savages, Frenzy up to 2,000% increased damage per stack, that is a good change as well. Now before I dive into the cons, I do want to talk about the changes to the Natalia set and some of the items in the game. It's a complete rework of this set. It's no longer based on the Rain of Vengeance skill, but instead the Spike Trap skill. I recently just did a video on the top 3 sets that I would like to see buffed in Season 28, and I did mention the Natalia set. I will say that I'm a little disappointed that they're not sticking with Rain of Vengeance and just making it better. The skill of Rain of Vengeance is just so cool, it's a lot of fun, very aesthetically pleasing, and just completely fills up the screen. It was just a really underwhelming build. But because they're opting to rework it as opposed to just give it some kind of buff, it's hard for me to categorize this as a pro or a con because I haven't been able to try this build. It may be an absolute blast or it may just be terrible, so only time will tell kind of how I feel about this and the changes that they're making to this set. This will also be something that I absolutely plan on covering during the PTR and hopefully releasing some content for you guys real soon to cover this set and kind of see what it's capable of. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive into some cons here. The first one for me is that I don't like that we are introducing quality of life as a seasonal theme. So for example, we take a look at this in our Pets Pick Up Death's Breasts. This is kind of just something that we've been asking for forever, and I don't like that it's being introduced as a theme as opposed to just some kind of permanent change to make the game better. When the season comes to an end, perhaps Blizzard will decide to just make a lot of these quality of life things permanent, but I don't like that the season theme, or a large part of the season theme, is just quality of life. I suppose that it ultimately just does not seem that innovative to me, and the season theme in general just doesn't feel like it really adds anything that really mixes up the game like the Angelic Crucibles did in Season 27, where we were introduced to all of these new builds. The next thing that I wanted to cover with regard to all of the class changes and the buffs to these various sets, the Witch Doctor and Crusader have been absolutely left behind. That seems absolutely insane to me. I think that the general consensus among the player base is that the Witch Doctor is probably the worst class in the game, and right above it would be the Crusader. Why are we adding these massive buffs to the Monk and the Demon Hunter when they're probably already the 2 most played classes? I really hope that Blizzard considers this because the PTR is only 7 days long, so it doesn't really seem like they've left themselves with that much time to really balance and test out any changes to the Crusader or the Witch Doctor. I'm also not particularly big on the idea of forcing us to do set dungeons to farm the never-ending questions, and then also requiring us to go and get all of the materials for the Staff of Herding. I personally don't know a single player who enjoys doing set dungeons, and although some players do enjoy going out and doing fun things like getting the materials for the Staff of Herding, kind of just a casual way to play the game and do something for fun, I think that most players who are really trying to push and just kind of focus on getting their characters stronger, going out of your way to get the Staff of Herding is a bit of a nuisance. I have farmed out both of these items so that when I do get into the PTR, I'm going to be able to test out everything with all of the Altar of Rights powers. In my next video, I'm also going to be showing you guys how to get the Never-Ending Questions and the Staff of Herding, kind of getting you there the fastest way possible and hopefully saving you a bit of time with this. all things considered, I am really excited for Season 28, especially with consideration to how long Season 27 has been going on for. Go ahead and drop a comment down below. Let me know what changes that you would like to see to the Witch Doctor and Crusader so that hopefully Blizzard can consider this and make these classes viable. As always, guys, I really appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.